Hi, I'm Astrologer Penny Dix, and welcome to this week's forecast astrological deep dive into the energies that may affect us over the coming week as we head towards a very interesting full moon in Scorpio, which is Monday week on the 12th. But back to today, because today, May the 4th be with us, Jem. Yes, absolutely. I love it. I love it. Listen, guys, hi, how are you? It's really good to see so many of you here. Jem, Shirley, Poonam, there were some others. So Cosmic BL, I think you're here, and Annabelle Sapphire. And yeah, May the 4th be with you. I love that. I love it. And the 4th, actually, today is really a very important day astrologically, because if you hi Rebecca from Ohio, and because today Pluto has gone retrograde. Now this is a big deal because it's going to be retrograde until sometime in October. I can't remember exactly the date, but it's till October. Hi Janice. Hi AMAC. Good to see you all here. So Pluto retrograde. Well, I have an astrobite that went out this morning. So if you watch that, you'll have deeper insight into how this energy will unfold and affect us. But is it October the 14th? Thank you, Jem. Annabelle, you've had, oh, okay. Yes, Jem, you've got an ear infection. Ouch. Oh, they are so painful. Oh, you poor baby. Yes, I've heard about colloidal silver. Poonam, you're tired. Oh, honey, that's not good. That's not good. So Pluto retrograde today is, in a sense, heralding the end of the beginning. We've had a taste of the beginning as Pluto has fully moved into the sign of Aquarius. And so here is Pluto saying, okay, I've given you a glimpse of how things are going to unfold as the next 20 years progress, but I need to let you have a little bit of time to get used to these new energies, which I think is actually super interesting. And I'll tell you why. Hi, Jim. Hi, Andy. You're at Ruby's ball tournament in Vancouver. Oh, lovely. Oh, that's great. Lola, hi to see you. It's close to your son, is it? So, oh, wow. Tell us how it's affecting you, Lola. It'd be very interesting to hear, but I would imagine a lot of inner transformation and personal empowerment, because they are the kind of energies we can experience with this energy. But seriously, if we just think about what's been happening since Pluto went retrograde, there really has been a huge shift in our collective consciousness of how we work with artificial intelligence, which I think is fascinating, because it's as if you couldn't make it up. We knew that the most likely experiences that we're going to have as Pluto moved into Aquarius was more technology hitting social media, hitting the news, hitting us from every angle. And yes, it has. And artificial intelligence is a real thing. It's a massive thing. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you here. It's beginning to really affect our lives. And I think Pluto's retrograde motion gives us a chance to get used to these new technologies, to really start making friends with them, to look at how we can use them in a constructive and productive way, and not allow them to rule us, but so that we become the ruler or the master or the mistress of AI. Then it has a very interesting place. But I think there is more, much more, that Pluto in Aquarius is going to be dishing out to us, which we will feel more of once Uranus fully moves into Gemini next year, in May of 2026. We're going to get a glimpse of that this year when Uranus moves into Gemini, just for that kind of short period, May, June, July, August. We will get and you see, the reason this is exciting is because Gemini is an air sign and Aquarius is an air sign, but they're both, Gemini is mutable and flexible, Aquarius is fixed. Uranus rules Aquarius, but it's going to have free reign in Gemini to really explore the possibilities and the potentials that can come not just through technology. That is almost like already yesterday's news. This will be about how we use this in combination with this, with our inner soul, with our psyche, with our intuition, with our gut feeling, with our ability to allow our consciousness to expand and to elevate to consciousness heights that we haven't even begun to explore. So that I think we leave technology behind at some point over the next 20 years. And that is what is so super exciting, because I think we will need the technology to underpin, to begin with, the discoveries we will find emerging in our consciousness as we grow and evolve as human beings, so that the human race will really take a massive evolutionary step forward. But we all need to be on the same page. So I think Pluto's retrograde is giving the people that are not perhaps quite there yet a chance to catch up. Now, it doesn't mean that if they don't catch up, then they miss the train or they miss the boat. It just means that there will be a selection of society that just won't get and won't be able to keep up with where human consciousness is going to evolve to. Now, I know when I go into this kind of talk, I'm channeling the blue light beings. And it just feels a very strong energy that is coming through and a tremendous sense of excitement at what we're going to discover we can actually do. How we can rebuild ourselves from the cellular level all the way up. We know this anyway, but we're going to discover it more and more. And let me just have a look at your comments. AI has been around us a lot longer than we've been led to believe. Yes, that is true. Hi, see me. Jim, same paging. Penny, bless the planet. we should every day, every moment, bless our beautiful planet. It's our home. And yes, Kelly, yes, we will have other world capabilities. It is, gosh, so big what is happening. And this is why the outer planets are going to have to introduce us to these new frequencies at a slower rate. So we have our Pluto retrograde to give us time to breathe, to reassess, to regroup, to look at where things are unfolding towards. You see, if we look at the event chart of Pluto retrograde today, the sun is being squared by the moon. So the sun is in Taurus at 14 degrees at the moment that Pluto goes retrograde, squared by the moon. So you've got these two fixed energies squaring each other, like the tension is enormous between the masculine and the feminine as we struggle and strive to find some middle ground, some place to meet. Pluto, that is stationing retrograde, is doing its best to contain the whole of this energy, the collective energy of the masculine, the feminine, the consciousness and the unconsciousness. Yes, Poonam, letting go of the old way and doing and thinking to make space for the new way that's coming. We are right on the cusp now, yes. It is exciting times that lie ahead. That's very interesting, Cosmic BL. Hi, Tiffany, that you're saying schools in Quebec have banned cell phones. Brilliant idea. We have got to put these down. We can do everything without these. We will reach a point, I hope I'm around to see it, where we will have collective meetings without the need for technology. But maybe I send out a signal. I say, hey, Soul Fam, we're going to connect in half an hour. And somehow we do. And it exchanges. And we correspond. So very exciting times. It is unsettling energy, Annabelle, yes. We need to adjust gracefully, slowly, peacefully. Thank you, Shirley. Thank you, Jem. I think that this Pluto retrograde, we have to just allow it to be what it is. We will find, if we relax into it, that the empowerment and transformation that Pluto is offering us can come quite easily if we learn to get out of our own way. If we go with the divine flow that is coming through us. We need to reclaim the power we project on others, on institutions, on governments, on people on social media. We need to reclaim the projections, the power, the knowing. We have it all. We have the knowing. It just needs to be woken up. Uranus is going to help with that. As soon as Uranus moves into Gemini, that awakening, that great awakening is going to start taking place. So we have to remember that Aquarius really is to do with consciousness. But it's also about rebellion and freedom and individuality, as well as the collective consciousness. I think Pluto's journey retrograde will give society a chance to regroup and reform, which is interesting. As I'm saying the word reform, I'm thinking of the recent by-elections in the United Kingdom, where the Reform Party have made such huge headway. And they are almost a metaphor for how the political climate is going to change massively over the next, not just few years, but few months. The old ways do not serve us anymore. They will drop away. They will go. Jim, that is right, reclaiming what we've known all along. And I think we need to reassess our relationship with technology. I think that will be a great use of this energy, and allow the divine to deconstruct our mapped out mind thinking future, and allow the divine to flow through and say, actually, this is a better way. I've got a much better way for you here. I think it's also about society in general finally learning that they are individuals, that they don't have to be part of this collective, yes, we obey, whatever you say, we obey. So this is about a breaking down before we have the breakthrough, breaking away from the authoritarian kind of control, the elitism. People can see through that. They've had enough. If this transit is touching your chart personally, and especially if you have planets on the angles, so that would be Aquarius, obviously, Leo, Taurus, or Scorpio. And if your planet or angle is at around 1 to 4 or 5 degrees, then expect deep inner shifts about your identity, where you belong in society, and about your autonomy. No more sheeple. Exactly, Shirley. I'm so glad to see that, Cosmic BL. You're saying schools are also going back to the old formulas. I like it. That's brilliant. That's as it should be. What we have to be careful with the Pluto retrograde is the shadow side, which can be quite, can lead to anarchy. That is not necessarily the best way to get balance and harmony into humanity, because I think there will be causes for rebellious behavior and a disconnection, and people can use this power manipulatively. So be careful that you don't allow yourself to be manipulated by something that is not really what it seems, which comes from Neptune newly arrived in Aries, which will be joined soon for a brief time by Saturn. Now that's going to be extraordinary. So this energy is going to color not just this week, but the whole of May. But let's see what else we've got going on this week. And I'm also going to have a look at your chat. Let's see. Divine realignment. Yes, I love that. Yeah, no more sheeple. using our intuition more and more. Absolutely. Yes, I agree, AMAC. Ordinary, everyday people are hearing each other. Yeah, the good and the great are just listening to their own sound bites. That's about right, isn't it? Yeah. What else? You found it interesting that Prince Harry said the establishment had stitched him up, that the Queen said to Paul Burrell about dark forces she knew nothing about. We need transparency. Bless him, Prince Harry. I think he's his own worst enemy. I really do. Let's see how it unfolds. But I have a concern for his well-being, and I think he is drowning, and I just have a personal concern for him. I think he's too much like his mother, and I don't think that serves him well. Listen, on May the 7th, we have Mercury, our planet of communication, conjunct Chiron in Aries, our wounded healer. So what is this going to bring us? Because this is kind of like a unique blend of mental energy that helps with our wounds, that helps heal. And it's as if we're taking the courage to stand up and say, what you have just told me hurts. And it's as if we're learning to stand up for ourselves. Yes, Kelly, the veil is thinning. More and more are coming in and seeing energies. Yes, Annabelle, you see he's in a lot of pain and you're sending him unconditional love. Yes, yes. And I wonder whether with this Mercury conjunct Chiron, whether behind the scenes, there will be an opportunity for Prince Harry to redress the balance with his family. And I mean his family in the sense of his father, King Charles III, and his brother. But we might never get to hear about it. But I do think he's in a bad place. But this Mercury conjunct Chiron could bring healing discourse, healing words and communication. Because it's about healing those inner wounds. And it can be because it's Aries that one has the courage to stand up and be counted and say how one is feeling it. Yes, Poonam, it's so hard for people in the public eye all the time. Absolutely. And that is so difficult. And I think, you know, for Harry, he is a very independent thinker. And bless him, he doesn't know when, he doesn't use the timing very well to say what he says. He just feels so passionately about something that he comes out with it. So I think it is difficult for him. Now, Mercury, there's not, those are the two main aspects for this week. But you know, gosh, that's enough, isn't it? Because we've had some pretty heavy going energy over the last few weeks, months, years. So let's have a calmer week. I think that could be actually quite good. What's this, Jim? Yes, being famous can feel like a curse. Yes. Oh, Lola, bless you. Bless you. You agree he's safer where he is. Yes, he probably is, but I don't think he's very happy. I don't think he's very happy. Right, so let's see. Yes, he's transparent like his mum. Yes, I think that's a good way to describe it. Now, back to the week ahead. By the 10th, which is next Saturday, Mercury, our planet of communication, will move into the sign of Taurus. And of course, this brings much more grounded, practical, and deliberate quality of thinking and communication. So, if Harry wanted to arrange a personal, private discussion with his father, he should wait till after Saturday. That would be much better. In fact, wait probably till after Monday week, when we have the full moon in Scorpio. That would be an even better. We can have a look at that next Sunday, can't we? Because here we have, with Mercury in Taurus, we value the stability and the security and the practicality, the clarity of mind that we can get from Mercury in Taurus. And it's going to give us an opportunity to have much more concrete thinking. I think what we have to guard against is being stubborn in our communication. And that's where, if we stay on the theme of Harry and his father, they may just not be able to meet, because neither of them will find the flexibility to see the other's point of view or allow the wounds to be healed, which would be desperately sad. But they are a family that can't help but their lives get exposed on the world stage. And we have to remember that that's actually not an enviable position to be in. It is not a good place to be in. It's a very, very challenging life to lead. But Harry chose to step back from it. And it has, of course, put him in a vulnerable position. Who knows what the outcome will be? But I think the Pluto retrograde will give all concerned time to think. The strengths that we can gain from Mercury in Taurus is patience with our communication. We'll be much more practical. And I think we will have a better handle on how to handle our financial affairs with Mercury in Taurus. What we have to be careful of is that we don't take too long to make decisions, because we overthink them. And maybe in conversation, we come across as too cautious, too slow. So we will be thinking before we speak with Mercury in Taurus, but we just need to be a little bit more, to get a little bit of fire in there. And what we have to do is look for what else is happening in the chart. And, well, Chiron obviously is in Aries. Venus is in Aries. Venus actually will have just gone past sextiling Pluto. And, of course, Neptune is still in Aries. So there is some fire around. And Mars, of course, is in Leo. But Mars has moved off its opposition with Pluto. But there's not enough, or there's not a lot to help Mercury here with the more fiery talk, because whilst, let's just go back to the Mercury conjunct Chiron, that is wonderful, passionate energy. We really speak with passion, and we're fired up with our beliefs about how we can heal the world, let alone anything else, let alone ourselves or people. Oh, I've got a glow, have I? Have I been in the sun? Well, I was in the sun yesterday. Actually, I'll tell you this quickly. This is to do with our other channel, which is Channeling and Stranger Things with my friend Sarah Sands Smith. We actually went to Malta yesterday because we wanted to do a video for our channel in the walled city of Medina. because they were having a Knights and Jesters Day, and we thought it would be rather amusing. Well, we did lots of little snippets of film. So I did get Sun yesterday. We did lots of little snippets of video. And, you know, I played them back and I thought, nah. They just, visually, they were quite interesting, but there was nothing much to say. There was nothing really amusing. And I'm not going to put up substandard material on either of my channels. So you will just have to wonder what it was about. And I haven't deleted them yet. Maybe I will put them up sometime, but I'll see. In the meantime, how are we doing? Let's see what is going on here. Yes, Imo, long for a calm week, absolutely. And Kelly, energy is shifting. The US is readying to bounce the nouveau Reich administration here. I like that. That is a really good way to do it. Sun is healing. It is. Yeah, Medina is beautiful. It really is. But I don't think you'll ever get to see the video because it just wasn't one of our best. It's a shame, but we had a nice day out. So there we go. But so we have a fairly quiet week astrologically, but I don't think that's a bad thing. So I will do an astrobite for the Mercury conjunct Chiron and Mercury entering into Taurus. And I think what we'll do now is move on to the word for the week, because you're thinking I've got better quality control than China. Yes, I think so. I'm just not going to put out crap. Sorry. Quality, not quantity. It's got to be good. Yeah, I think this is the calm before the hello from Cyprus. Yes, blessings to you. So I've got an interesting word for the week, because I thought what we need, because the energies are smoother this week, is something that gives us a chance to see how we exercise our potential. So the word for the week is potential. And I thought this would be a really rather interesting exploration. I'm getting ever so hot. I think I'm having one of those mature lady moments. I've also got my tarot here for a card for the day, and Wishing Pool Tarot, if you're with us, would love it if you would also pull a card for the day, and anyone else that wishes to. For the week, sorry. You are Wishing Pool Tarot. Fantastic. So the word for the week is potential. I'm hot stuff, Jem. Oh, I was in Medina yesterday. Oh, God, it was hot. Yeah, we're going to have the tarot, Annabelle. Don't worry. And Penny is tarot free. I'm totally free. Well, that sounds terrible. I'm free. Well, I kind of am, I suppose. But anyway, before I get caught in a bit of a rabbit hole there, let's come back to the word for the week, potential. So here we have a set of powerful quotes that represent our capacity to grow, transform, Pluto, and achieve. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. Oh, yes, Cosmic BL, the 7th, the Pope will be chosen. Well, sometime after the 7th. So maybe I'll do an astrobite for that. That would be a good one, wouldn't it? I shall do that. So let's see what else we've got. Now, we've got somebody here that I really do. Often, most of these names I've never heard of. I don't know whether I'm just... You've got the King of Swords. Okay, I'll get there in a minute. Sharp communication, it's that Mercury in Aries, round Chiron for healing. And let's see. So we've got someone here called Nido Quebin, who said, your present circumstances don't determine where you can go. They merely determine where you start. Oh, I like that. Now that is pure potential. That's wonderful potential. Simi's pulled the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so we've got the King of Swords. We've got the Ace of Pentacles. I'm going to give you another quote before I get to my tarot. Les Brown said, the only limits to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you use today. Because I am choosing to relocate to the United Kingdom, to England, to be specific, it is a big thing when we make these big life decisions, courtesy of Uranus conjunct my sun. And it brings up a lot of doubt, anxiety, the what ifs, the buts. And that is quite a important quote, I think, for me, because Les Brown saying the only limits to the possibilities in your life tomorrow are the buts you use today. So I'm really taking that as a message for myself and anyone else who is going through big life changes. Have a think about it, because I know that if I don't make this change, I'm missing out on a wonderful opportunity to have another adventure. And isn't life all about adventures? I think so. So let me just see what you're saying. Seven of Pentacles. You've got Star Mother Julia. Okay. You're struggling with relocation at the minute. Is this connected to the astrology? It could be, but I'd need to know really what's going on in your chart, Wishing Pool Tarot, to really kind of give you a clue. And Essence of Joy is pulled Justice. Oh gosh, we're getting a whole reading here. Let's move on a bit with the quotes, and then I'll come to the card for the week. Dennis Waitley said, it's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. Say that again. It's not who you are that holds you back. It's who you think you're not. That's quite clever, isn't it? Oh, Christine Jones, I couldn't agree more. The picture of a certain person dressed up as the Pope was the most appalling use of AI. We have to keep our human divinity, says Christine, not allow AI to change our DNA. Do you know, Christine, I was absolutely shocked, appalled, and aghast. And I thought, he's lost the plot totally. He needs to be certified insane, because that is megalomania gone completely bonkers. Oh, it was just shocking, shocking, shocking. Ralph Waldo Emerson said, what lies behind us and what lies before us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. Well, I think we know what lies within him. Delusions of grandeur on the biggest scale I think I have ever heard. He's going to be telling us next that he's God. I'm speechless. Eleanor Roosevelt said, you must do the thing you think you cannot do. That's a good one. You must do the thing you think you cannot do, as long as it doesn't put your life in danger, I would hasten to add. He is a narcissist, no understanding of other people's emotions. Vegetable soup. Yes, the vegetable soup is what we're discussing. Oliver Wendell Holmes Jr. said, man's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never regains its original dimensions. I like that. Arthur Ashe said, Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. And that brings us so beautifully into the present moment. Carrot soup, love it. Well, he's going to end up as carrot soup if he's not careful. But there we go. Scotland. Oh, look what's on the bottom of the pack. Isn't that lovely? Oh, Scotland's national animal. I love it. I love it. Let me see what else he's saying. Kelly had to be careful not to use his name. Yes, absolutely. Otherwise, we'll be struck off of YouTube. Now, I'm putting a card for the week ahead. Oh, it's that one. Oh, okay. So, right. The unicorn. Absolutely, Cosmic BL. Molding in his grave. Listen, I think this is quite interesting because this is Pluto retrograde. Don't look back at what can't come or what can't happen or what we can't change in the past. Remember, there's always going to be what's left in the future. And all he has to do, this person, is turn round and take hold of his future. It can be loss and disappointment, but it means that we're focusing on the past and we're not going that way, as is said many times. We're going forwards. So don't focus on what is lost. Don't focus on what could have been. Change it now, because that's where you have your point of power, in the present. We have the point of power in our present moment. And that is where we can make the changes that need to happen. Yes, anger. Leave the past in the past. Run to your future and embrace it, I would add. What is that card? What is that card, Penny? 5 of Cups. 5 of Cups. Grieving the past. You've had a big grieving year, Wishing Pool Tarot. Yeah, we have to grieve to make our way through. Absolutely. Align with forward motion in the present moment. Thank you, Jim. It's all right, Jim. My pleasure, my darling. And it is a meaningful card. Review mirror. Review mirror. I like that, Julie R. We need to let go of the past ways. Yes, Poonam. So you see, there's always a different way of looking at things. And how lovely that we have a peaceful week astrologically lying ahead of us, because it actually gives us an opportunity to flex the potential we have in our psyches, our souls, and our physicality. And getting wound up, angry about things we see, people who do things we don't like, that we think are inappropriate, does not hurt them, but it can hurt us. What we have to do is breathe and take a step back and recognize that it is part of a karmic contract that is being acted out. There will be an end to it, and a gift will come through that ending. We can't know what that's going to be as yet. We just can't know. We have to have faith that the divine knows what she is doing and has our backs. Because we've had almost everything stolen over the last 18 months. Yes, it is painful. Yes, Julia, but necessary. What is to be will be wonderful. It is a huge wake-up call. Yes, in the UK, huge wake-up call. And that is what we have to work with. We have to work with where we are in the present. We really do have to get our mind out the way. You know, whilst Mercury is in Aries, we will be feeling a little bit, I don't know if you can hear George. George, what's the matter? Hang on. George Chin, come here, darling. What's the matter? Do you want to come and say hello? George Chin, come here. I don't think he'll let me pick him up. He's down here. I think he's telling me he wants his supper. It's a bit late tonight. He's been asleep all day. George Chin. Well, he's got a big chin. He's just, oh, Chin, aren't you, Chin? Aren't you, George? GC for short. He's a lovely, lovely boy. Didn't pick it up about your card and the unicorn being Scotland's animal. Maybe later. I'm not sure. Yes, I know. He's just a little sweetie. No, he's looking at the empty food bowls over there where they eat, and he's not happy. Yes, Canada. Did I not call that out? I said from his chart, it'll be Mark Carney. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's what the astrology said. So it was pretty spot on. You want your supper too? Yeah, I want my supper. So let's have an early night tonight, because I tell you what, you know, sometimes it's really good to just know when it's time to leave. And I'm kind of itching to choose another card. What I was doing as I was shuffling is I was thinking about our vegetable soup. And let's take this card as a metaphor. Take it as a metaphor, but it shows that everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Need I say more? And we will have learned lessons from that. I like that, Cosmic BL. A few seconds to unite our positive energies. Transformation. Yes. Yes, Julie R. It will be wonderful. Summertime. Suppertime. I said summertime. Suppertime, metaphor. Yes. What a way to end the show. So why don't we just take 1 minute or a few seconds, 10 seconds, to just send love and peace to all, to everyone. So just close your eyes for a few seconds and just send love, peace, light to the collective, to every living being, every living insect, animal, every plant, every blade of grass, every element of the planet, every star in the cosmos, every life in our universe that I have no doubt is teeming with life. Let's send love, peace, and light to all of that. And I think that's a good way to end tonight's show. Thank you all so much for being here. And don't worry, I'm not going to drop the hi. It was just someone had mentioned it in the comments and I just thought, hi? Anyway, and a deep breath. Absolutely, Cosmic BL. So listen, guys, thank you for joining me. Go and get your breakfast, your morning coffee, your lunch, your tea, or your supper, or your dinner. And I'm going to be back next week, next Sunday, same time, usual place. And of course, that'll be the day before the full moon in Scorpio. So the energy is going to be really hotting up for that. That's going to be a big one. So, as Chinese, George Chin, absolutely. He ought to be Siamese. Then he'd be, George Chin with his Siamese. George, I'm coming now. Okay, he's really pacing up and down. He's absolutely frantic. I would love to be able to see if he'll let me pick him up, but he's just going out of reach, and he's quite heavy, so I don't think he'll let me pick him up. He does let me pick him up, but I'm wittering. So listen, guys, have George, I gave you the chance to come up. You're going to come up? Come here. Oh, come here. Oh, I've got him. This is the famous George Chin, and he's going. Anyway, oh dear. Yes, that was George who caused me all that trouble last year when he went missing. Okay, my loves, listen, have a lovely evening. Thanks so much for joining me, and I will see you all. He's all chin, absolutely. Oh, I've got George Chin hairs all over me now. He's a big orange boy. He's a big boy, I tell you. All right, my loves, I love you loads. Mwah. See you soon. Take care. Bye, darlings. Bye.